Where is it? Hello, everyone. We live? Okay, hello, everyone. Welcome to Bayern Now, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. So, you read by the title, so it looks like we are winning the race for Sergino Dest. I'm going to read a few things that Sergino Dest's actual agent. You know what's nice? It's like there's different levels of actual news that are relevant, right? So you have the random person on Twitter who's speculating and just wants the player, right? They type it on Twitter, everyone's like, we want this player, and they start adding their club to buy the player. And then the next level of news is someone credible, like a journalist, right? You have a journalist who knows something, who might actually think there's a genuine link. And then the next level of news is like someone from the club who hints at something. And then the next level of news is the agent of the player who says something. And then the last level, the ultimate news, is the player's mouth himself. So this time, it's Sergino Dest's agent. So this is coming from Joe's Blackburn. I'm going to quote him. Bayern Munich still wants to sign Sergino Dest from Ajax, but at the moment, both parties are still far apart. We can't do anything with that and are waiting in that regard. So, as it looks and as it stands, as the table stands, we're winning the race to sign Sergino Dest because his agent has publicly stated that we are in that race and we want to sign Sergino Dest. But the thing is, the agreement between Ajax, which we talked about, and it's not new news, but what it is there's been a lot of Barcelona fans and Barcelona people or people that love FC Barcelona coming out and saying Barcelona are going to sign Dest. You know, that pisses me off because his agent is literally saying there's more. He's probably going to end up at Bayern Munich. But I just seen too many Barcelona fans going at the fact that Dest could be joining Barcelona, and I'm pissed off. Every time I see a link, I'm like, bro, he's not joining you. He's not joining Barcelona. Barcelona are trying to offer Semedo, Rakitic, Arthur for Maryland Pjanic or something like that. How stupid are Barcelona? How are you going to offer Arthur, 23 years old or something, one of the most highly prospected midfielders in the world, for Maryland Pjanic? So don't tell me about Barcelona. Sven Tosa, mijo. Barcelona has more fans on the social media. Don't get mad. No, they don't. They don't have a better financial situation than us. Barcelona are offering up half their squad. It's only a matter of time before they offer up Lionel Messi for Phil Jones. Like, that's what Barcelona are on. They've done some stupid business, and I don't expect them to have the money, even 20 million. They can't afford it. That's the thing. Barcelona cannot afford a single player right now. Look at the money they spent on Antoine Griezmann. It's just ludicrous. They bought Griezmann. How much did they buy Griezmann for? They bought Antoine Griezmann for 120 million. Almost got sued, and they would have had to pay an extra 80 million. But La Liga loves Barcelona, so obviously they're not going to do that. So for me, man, Barcelona linked with Sergino Dest is just the dullest news I've ever heard. But there is a chance, and like I said, we can sign Sergino Dest. We will, actually. Let's look into our right back situation. Now that we're playing games, let's look at what we have. Pavard played brilliant at the weekend as a right back, you know. But I think the club definitely are looking for a different type of right back. That right back that can basically control the tempo of the game from right back, the way Davies does, who can drive forward with the ball, who has exceptional pace and speed in the recovery. I think Dest has all those things. Dest, I mean, he's shorter than Davies. He's quick, but he's not fast. He's not like the fastest guy in the world. But I think Bayern are looking for that mold of a right back. So the reason we haven't been linked to we've been linked to like some fast right backs. I'm not saying we only want fast right backs, but we've been linked to those types of players. We've been linked to them a lot, and I think there is a high probability that we sign Sergino Dest. I don't think it even depends on who's playing well and who's not. So I don't think it depends on if Pavard's playing well, which for me, if Dest comes in, he's not going to be better than Pavard. Pavard is not going to be dropped for Sergino Dest. So either it's a thing where it's a plan. So the next 2 years, the next 3 years, he becomes that world-class right back, and then he starts playing every single game. I don't know. Maybe the team or the Bayern board or just the manager decide to. It depends on Hansi Flick as well, because we weren't linked to Sergino Dest last summer when we knew Kimmich was going back to midfield. We weren't linked to Sergino Dest. We were linked to him in the January window, and there's reports that a 20 million bid from Bayern was cancelled by Ajax last January, but we weren't linked to Dest before that. So maybe this is a Hansi Flick signing. Maybe it's Hansi Flick deciding, you know what, this is what I want. So let's talk about his evaluation. So he's going to cost us around that 20 million mark, but no Sergino Dest, signed Hakimi. Well, Hakimi is going to be tougher, isn't he? Because if you look at Achraf Hakimi's situation, he's going to cost about maybe even 3 times or close to 4 times the price of Sergino Dest. He's also, he's proven in the league. We know that. He's a great player, but if you look at it from just a neutral point of view, maybe the Bayern board don't want to pay that. And also, he's from Real Madrid. It's going to be tougher to get him than Sergino Dest. Dest is from Ajax. Hakimi plays for Real Madrid. It's going to be tough, but I think there is a chance that we get him if we go to Real Madrid and test how they're willing to do it. So, for me, there's a genuine chance we could sign Achraf Hakimi, but we are much closer to signing Sergino Dest because Dest is, he's younger and he's also playing in the Eredivisie. The thing with Dest is Ajax probably won't find a hard time to replace him. It's just, I know Ajax, January, we were linked to Dest very heavily. And then there were sources coming out saying that Bayern Munich won't, obviously that we were linked to him, but then there were sources coming out saying Ajax don't want to sell Dest. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense because Ajax are a very, very prestigious club that likes to develop players and sell them on for big fees later on and make their profits that way. And I thought maybe they thought to themselves, hey, maybe in 2 years, Dest is going to be one of the best or most prospected right backs in the world, and he's gonna want to leave, and we can get way more money out of him, maybe 60 million or even 50 million. So maybe that's what they were thinking about. Mazraoui is better than Dest. Why don't we sign Mazraoui? Well, I don't know who these players are that you're saying, but the situation and the fact of the matter is Sergino Dest is being looked at by Bayern, and I think there's a higher chance we sign him than any other player. I think that's the truth. He's an exceptional player, Dest, but yes, there's things in his game that a lot of us are going to want him to improve on. Mazraoui is playing, I don't know who that is, which tells you my knowledge about Ajax. I don't watch Ajax. I have never watched a game where Dest played. I've watched the clips and highlights. He looks like he's a superb dribbler. He can carry the ball forward the way I would like for another right back to be, or another full back from us to be doing. He's faster than what we have at right back, and he's also on the more attacking side of things. So I don't know. Is he a wing back? He's probably not a wing back. He's a right back. He plays right back, but you never know. He brings a different traits to the team. So he wouldn't come in and be that dominant, defensively astute right back, but he'd be solid defensively. Dest is actually okay defensively. People were saying that ever since Bayern were linked to him, he started playing worse, which is crazy. Ajax fans rate Mazraoui. This name is mad. That's why fans don't mind losing him. Well, look, here's the thing. I don't know what Ajax fans think. We think a lot of things, and other people think a lot of things about our club that doesn't correspond to what we think. But I don't know. I'm not sure with Sergino Dest. I've said it. I would like us to sign or even try for Achraf Hakimi. But it looks like the Bayern board are very focused on Sergino Dest. And it's a matter of price now, I think. Because if Dest's agent has come out, if you're joining late on the stream, Sergino Dest's agent has come out again on a different news thing. And he's said that Bayern Munich still wants to sign Dest. So we know the interest is there because his agent has confirmed it. But at the moment, both parties are far apart. I think, think about it. It's the league just returned. Bayern is playing again, right? So what if Ajax use that as like saying, hey, you're making your money back, right? You should pay us more. It could be something that happens, right? But it's a buyer's market, this whole Corona thing, but it's also a seller's market. I think Ajax are in a position where they need to sell. As much as they're a club that make lots of money and turn over lots of profit and revenue from their players that they sell, I think Ajax need to sell. They need to sell to keep themselves stable because that's their business model. It's like a company, right, that has one business model to sell a certain amount of shoes every single year. If you don't sell that certain amount of shoes, maybe 10 employees might get a pay cut because you didn't sell this certain amount of shoes. So I think it's the same thing with Ajax, where it looks like they're a financial powerhouse in the Netherlands, but really in Europe they can be bullied. And yeah, they were bullied. Look at the price they sold De Jong for. You would think he'd go for 100 million. De Ligt, I thought he would go for more. And there's always sources whenever any team is linked with Ajax. For example, Ziyech. Hey Google, how much did Chelsea buy Ziyech for?
According to Wikipedia.
Never mind. Apparently Google thinks Ziyech is Peter Cech, which, I mean, they kind of sound similar. But they bought Ziyech for what, 25 million? Can anyone remind me? By the way, leave a like on the video. We'd love to hit 10 likes on the video. It's cool, but I prefer Dest. Dest can grow well with Bayern. That's true. That's true. I like the disagreement in the comments. But, what, Ajax paid with maybe 25, 35 million for Ziyech. And in my head, I'm thinking, hey, Ziyech is one of the most... I mean, he's 27, right? 26 at the time Chelsea bought him. I'm thinking to myself, well, he's a good player. 45 million. Oh, I mean, I thought it was 35. I could have sworn. But you're thinking to yourself, I'm going to verify that. You're thinking to yourself, it's Ziyech. How is he only going for this much? He's 27, right? Brilliant player. And you would think he'd go for more. Chelsea bought Ziyech for 45 million. That is so cheap for Ziyech, though. Like, he's one of Ajax's best players. He's proven in the Champions League. He's proven in the league. He's done it so consistently, and somehow he only went for 45 million. If I was Ajax, I'm giving you 60 million. Take it or leave it. But I have a feeling that Ajax are a team that can be bullied financially. Look at the players they sold at what price. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Toby Alderweireld, Jan Vertonghen to Spurs. Always, constantly, they get bullied financially. Last summer, they turned over 100+ million with the selling of De Ligt and De Jong combined. But at the same time, I feel like they could have gotten more for De Ligt. De Ligt is one of the best most prospected center backs in the world, and somehow they only sold him for what, 65 million? It's very odd for me, man. It's very, very odd. We should have signed Ziyech. He's so cheap. It's 35 million pounds, $45 million. You're right. So 35 million pounds for Ziyech. Is that what Ajax? Oh, come on, man. That's what I don't understand about Ajax, man. So this is what I mean where I say maybe Ajax are just looking for more money. Like they're poor right now. Maybe they're the company that needs to sell a certain amount of shoes to keep themselves open. Like my brother had a business where he sold hair, right? Hair products, things like that, the shampoos, right? I was working there 2 summers ago. Yes, last summer, actually. That's crazy. It's been that short time span. But I was working there, right? And we weren't getting a lot of customers, right? But obviously, he opened it pretty much as like a hobby because he had the money to. He didn't borrow money to open this hair shop, right? Hair product shop. And we weren't getting a lot of customers, but obviously he was losing money, right? But it's not that big of a deal for him. So he was losing money, and it's almost as if every day he had to sell a certain amount to keep the business up open. But it's the same thing with Ajax. It's like they have to sell a certain amount of players with a certain amount of price to keep their business running. Because Ajax, for me, is a business. They act more as a business than they do a football club. Because it's like their players are their commodity. Their players are their assets. Their youth academy is their most important thing. Right? They make sure that youth academy is they have a great youth academy, Ajax. But then they know that they can't retain these youngsters, so they have to sell them. But if Ajax ever kept their youngsters for more than 3 seasons after they broke through, they would probably be one of the best teams in the world, constantly producing talent. But I feel like Bayern Munich can almost bully Ajax, especially with the financial crisis. We can go to Ajax and offer them 10 million. And also, you know what? Have a few reports say Bayern Munich agree with Dest, personal terms. See what Ajax would do, because they'll be like, hey, we have a player who's going to be unhappy. We have to let him go. So let's reach 10 likes on the video, man. Let's reach 10 likes. I've already helped, and I've already liked my own video, so the best you can do is help like your own video. I don't know why people watch but never leave likes, because here's the thing with the YouTube algorithm. YouTube has this thing called authority, right? You can have authoritative content. What that means is if people are interacting and liking the video, it means that content is good, and therefore it gets suggested and recommended to more people, which means that the channel grows. So that's exactly how it works. When you leave a like, it's not something stupid. It means YouTube is thinking, oh, this video is good, and then the algorithm does that. So thank you everyone for helping reach 10 likes. Just remember to do it next time or you're gonna die. Okay. Carvajal and Kimmich are better than Trent. Well, Kimmich is not a right back anymore, so Carvajal is a right back. So Kimmich is a midfielder, let's be honest. And another thing is, like, people keep saying, well, we have Pavard, so we don't need to buy Dest. I'm like, do you not think Pavard can get injured? Is Pavard just the only player in the world who will never get injured? Or who will never miss a game to suspend? I don't know. So there will be games where Dest can play. There will be games where, Pavard has played too many minutes. For a player that became a new signing, I'll give this to Pavard. He got just thrown in. Pavard did just get thrown in. Niko Kovac just threw him into the first team. Didn't give the guy a real chance to adapt. I think this break has actually helped Pavard. This little break has helped him. What's up, David? Pavard plays almost every game. Yeah, that's true. Pavard literally plays every single game. So I might think maybe that's why he was rusty. Maybe that's why he didn't play the way I wanted to play, because he was playing every single minute and it didn't give him a chance to just relax. This guy was playing Champions League, DFB Pokal, Bundesliga, Champions League. He was going on international break with France, playing other games. This guy has one of his top 3 most minutes in the team. Maybe the inflection of games for him has not helped him. It stunted him a little bit. So maybe that's the issue with Pavard. I don't know. Bayern didn't confirm it. Well, if you're joining the stream late, Sergino Dest's agent has said that Bayern still wants to sign Dest from Ajax. So we know that, okay, definitely we're in for him because his agent has confirmed it. But at the moment, both parties are still far apart. We were just talking about how Ajax have this evaluation, but because of the financial crisis, I feel like we could bully them, because Bayern are one of the most financially stable clubs in the world. Manchester United they're in a great position because they're run like a business, but have all the money, right? And those sponsorships and all these things from Adidas, they're really helping Man United. They're the most stable club in terms of finances, without obviously the Man Cities and PSGs have all the money because they just money grows on trees for them. But I think up there as well, Bayern is up there. We're up there for stability of finances. The fact that we're linked to these players like Sané, but we're not trying to swap deals is amazing. It's really amazing to me because and even Man City are going to struggle from financial fair play. So bro, if not Bayern, who do you think wins Champions League this season? Well, if it's not Bayern, then it's going to be Bayern 2. Bayern's second team. Why is this? I know Sergino Dest's agent is pretty offensive, but it's always nice. Like I rated the news sources. For example, you'll have maybe a person on Twitter say this could happen, and then you have a journalist maybe confirm it. And then you'll have maybe someone from the club give hints of details, right? Maybe you'll have the player show up at the stadium. But then when you have the agent of the player or the player, that's really powerful. So I think there's a big chance we sign Sergino Dest. Exactly. So Barcelona are a poor club. Even Real Madrid, you might think Real Madrid have all the financial power in the world. They do in terms of actual revenue. Real Madrid live from paycheck to paycheck, right? That's the issue with Real Madrid. They live from paycheck to paycheck. They don't have any money left, right? Bayern. We don't spend the hundreds of millions of dollars, but that's not really why we're financially stable. We could spend the hundreds of millions, but we'd still be financially stable. But the most important reason why we're financially stable is because we focus on the books rather than just the wages too. Our wage structure is amazing. So that's something. Bro, come on. Who do you think are closest? Okay, in terms of closeness to winning the Champions League, man. See, obviously you have PSG who have the ambition to want to win it, but I think we have more of an ambition. Robert Lewandowski wants to win that damn trophy. The reason why he played through an injury versus Chelsea is because he wants to win the Champions League. It's just facts. So I think what's going to happen is if we don't win it, it's going to be because PSG do, because Man City aren't in the greatest position in terms of, I think the Pep Guardiola thing is Pep himself is starting to expose himself. Every time there's a little bit of pressure, the Pep balloon bust, right? They're doing well when the air is nice, but then when there's a little bit opposition wind, Pep's balloon bursts. That's what happens every single time with a Pep Guardiola team. He did it to us for 3 years. Now he's doing it at City. And he'll probably leave City, go to Juventus, and he'll probably get a lot of money. Yeah, exactly. Lewandowski, people forget. Lewandowski was injured in the 20th minute or something like that. He played through the game like he wasn't injured. You would have never guessed he was injured. But that's determination. So that's why I think we'll win it. Because that type of actual ambition to want to do something to the point where you're willing to hurt yourself is the type of thing that Real Madrid would do to win 3 in a row. So I think we'll win it. Right now, it's not clear how much money Bayern will spend in the summer. That is true, but I think it's pretty clear. We're going to spend about, maybe 50 to 60 million on Leroy Sané and 20 or 25 million on Sergino Dest, or even 15 million. Like I said, Ajax are not a financial power. There's a chance where we could definitely get them. Ismail, you do not need to spam that, man. You do not need to spam it. Eventually, you keep spamming it, it will ban you. My goodness, we know Bayern's the greatest club in the world, man. I need to put you on a timeout. It's just too much. You can't do that. So Pep chokes in big games. He can't even get City past the court. I mean, that's true. That's true with City. Back on the City thing as well. There's a lot of clubs that not only are suffering from financial insolvency. These clubs, Man United. As a United fan, I have to say, Man City defense is awful. We defeated them twice and we're not in that. I watched the Man United game. All you have, 3 of them actually, the Carabao Cup. No, 4 actually, right? Because they had 2 legs. I watched all the United City games because they're pretty cool, right? All you have to do, all Man United did, right, to defeat City, just park the bus a little bit, soak up their pressure, and hit them on the break. That's all you have to do to beat Man City. All you have to do is literally sit behind. Just relax. And we do that. Hansi Flick is very flexible. You've seen it. We don't press, but sometimes we just sit back. And that's how our defense against Chelsea. Chelsea came at us. We sat back. I think the only way, if we played Man City, all we have to do is relax, hit them on the break. Because they don't know how to defend counterattacks. Bayern didn't know how to individually defend counterattacks. And they won't know either. City has been bad ever since Arteta left. Their assistant. I don't think it's Arteta. I think it's just they don't have a defensive structure. If Pep Guardiola had Rui Faria, someone with a real defensive structure, or someone that knew how to set up a defensive team, maybe City would win more. Because the thing is with the Champions League, it's so important. It's so different because the Champions League is very spontaneous. That's why it's the greatest competition for clubs. If you don't win the Champions League, and you win all the league titles, no one's gonna really think about it, right? The thing is with the Champions League, it's so freaking it's harder to win than the league. People say the league's harder because you have to be consistent. Well, it's easy to get up for a league game. Yeah, you almost have the same level every week, right? You almost have to have the same level of ambition. But the Champions League, you have to find some new level of motivation every single game. You have to never give up. The Champions League is incredibly tough to get to the final, not to talk of winning it. Look at the way Ajax played. And then all of a sudden, 3 goals, 1 mistake. You do one thing wrong in the Champions League, you're out. You can't afford mistakes. That's why it's so hard to win the Champions League, right? But Real Madrid do well under pressure, which is why they've done so well. What's your opinion about Hamburg? Do you think they'll ever move up a league? Well, Adrian Fine's killing it there. That's the only reason I don't hate Hamburg. You know what? I don't like teams like the Hanovers, because they just show up to the top and then they just get relegated. I like Union Berlin. I can sympathize with them because they came up. Yeah, so that's why, the CL is so tough. The competition is intense. It's not even about, you can have a team like Ajax slap you up because they just showed up that day. It's so spontaneous. And which is why I think winning it and why it's always going to be the most prestigious trophy in clubs. For example, Pep's won the Premier League. He's won the Carabao Cups. Why can't he perform well in the Champions League? Because it's just so freaking... It's a different atmosphere. The atmosphere away... That's why we love it, man. Because the atmospheres... You go to, Camp Nou and it's... Oh, it's blazing. And then I don't know. It's just... That's how it is, man. You go to, a Roma who have been performing bad in their league. And you have to perform. And they just slap you up 4-0 out of nowhere. And you're out. That's why the Champions League is so important for players to win. And that's why it's probably... for me, for some players, I mean, if you've won the World Cup or if your country is getting close to the World Cup, obviously winning the World Cup would be great. But for a lot of players, winning the Champions League is it, because you have hundreds of millions of people watching, and it's like that. Madrid are a tough side, and they are coached very well. Yeah, they don't have the best, though they don't have the best. Exactly. You can have a crap team that wins the Champions League. You can, as long as they're coached. Imagine Union in Europa League. I think Union Berlin will be one of those teams that, I don't know what Union Berlin's ambition is. Do they want to be the Berlin club, right? Because to me, they have very old players. They have an old squad. I think they have the oldest average in the league, or one of the oldest teams in the league. So we'll see with Union Berlin. But I don't know if they want to be the top club with the ambition to get into Europe. I don't know. Hertha Berlin, though, like, the league is getting better. I don't care. Like, look, this 50+1 rule, right? It's amazing. It's the rules that the league has where a sponsor can't just freaking pummel money into the league. It's amazing. Sometimes I'm like, I would like Union Berlin or Hertha Berlin, or mostly Hertha Berlin, to just get good. I would love that because it adds competition to the league, which means that when any Bundesliga team, not just Bayern, all the Bundesliga, when they go to Europe, they don't look out of place. They look like this is our home, and that's what I want. Royce is gonna miss their classic. Why is Royce always injured? Can Royce? What was wrong with this guy? But yeah, Lewandowski or Suarez. Come on, man. Why are you telling me? Why are you asking me that? why would you ask me Lewandowski versus Suarez? You're asking me a very dumb question here. Lewandowski has better feet than Luis Suarez in terms of dribbling and things like that. He's a better free kick taker, better technique on everything. He shoots with better. I mean, Suarez actually is a better finisher, but not a better footballer than Lewandowski. Yeah, if you look at it, Suarez is a really good finisher. The way he finishes is like the cute touches to finish. Lewandowski doesn't do that, right? He just kind of finishes. He just shoots and it goes in. He just places the shots. But Suarez is a better, more clinical finisher. Like, he'll backheel the ball into the net. That's what I mean by finishing. Yeah, there are some people that don't understand football. Like, they don't understand. Lewandowski holds the ball up better. People don't see it. Lewandowski can go past players and actually is faster than Suarez, obviously, right? It's just, for me, it's just Lewandowski's that mile above Suarez. But the thing is, Suarez has the Champions League. So people are always going to look at it and go, he has the Champions League. He has the Champions League. And that's what I mean. When Lewandowski wins 1 or 2 Champions Leagues, there's the respect that's going to be on his name is going to be amazing. Which is why this year, Bayern have to do it. And I think hopefully we're still playing, or we have an exceptional team in 2022, which we will, because we'll buy Havertz and also Upamecano hopefully next summer when Boateng and Javi Martinez leave. We'll see. What if we can get to that final in 2022, man? I genuinely believe we can. What's going to be Bundesliga top 4 at the end of the season? That's a great question. And let me bring up the table. What the hell? Where's the table? Oh, okay. We have this. So I think it's going to look exactly like this. Bayern, Dortmund, Leipzig, Mönchengladbach. That's the table at the end of that. Yeah, that's the table. I think Bayer Leverkusen are a good team, but not as good as Mönchengladbach in terms of consistency. Lewandowski is the only player to score 40 goals for 5 consecutive seasons alongside Lewandowski. Exactly, which is why Robert Lewandowski must win that Champions League. He has to get a Ballon d'Or as well. If he wins the Champions League this year and the Super Cup, which should happen this year technically, right? If we win those trophies and the Bundesliga and the DFB, UEFA, there's no way FIFA or whoever does the French football does not, even though it's hacking, they got to give it to him. They're gonna have to vote for him. It doesn't matter because the Ballon d'Or will lose all credibility if Lewandowski wins the Champions League, wins the Super Cup, UEFA Super Cup, wins the Bundesliga, DFB. They have to give it to him. Come on, it has to happen. So it's gonna almost be like they'll have to, like it's forced. They have to give it to him, right? And hopefully they do. Hopefully he does it. But that means we have to win the Champions League. And I keep saying this: if we want to be the dominant team, like that, we've been dominant. Let's be honest. We've been the best team in Europe in 2020. right? We haven't lost a single game of the Champions League for over a year now. It's getting kind of boring. We need to lose a game. Like we've won every single game. How crazy is that? We're one of the first teams, or one of the few teams, to win every single game of the group stage. We're one of the first teams to go away from home and slap up a team in their new stadium 7-2. We're one of the first teams to slap up Chelsea 3-0, one of the best British sides, right? And we've done it in a fine, sexy fashion. So the most important thing is to wrap that up with lifting this next season. If anyone watched the the video yesterday after the news thing, the video yesterday, I talked about how UEFA can go about celebrating the Champions League, and I said this: if any team wins the Champions League, mail the trophy to them, figure out, and then there should be a ceremony. That's it. Dest isn't doing nothing new. Pavard reborn. Well, Pavard played really well, but I think he played so well that I didn't even think it was the same Pavard that I've been watching. And I think even people that understand Pavard always said he's solid. That's it. That's the only real reason they had behind the whole Pavard train. He's solid, which isn't really a thing to say he's a brilliant player. You're just saying he's average in a different way. Solid just means average to me, right? And Pavard had been played too much. Let's be honest. He plays he's played almost every single minute of every single game. He started every game, I think. That's not good. That's not. He's a new signing. Should he not have been adapted to the team? So I think we played Pavard too much. Should we splash the cash on Havertz or on another player, or get Sané for free next year? No. Svetoza, I don't know how to say her name. I apologize. Here's the thing with this, right? We can say, I want Sané next year. It'd be cool to get him on a free transfer. But think about Leroy Sané. Your career's on the line here, right? Bayern Munich. It's not like we're just going to skip a year where we don't play football. There's going to be football next season. The next season isn't going to be voided, right? There's the Euros. You want to be playing for Bayern now, right? We also Bayern. We want him now so that next season our rebuild is pretty much complete. We also want Sergino Dest now. We want Havertz next year because Muller's playing well. He's playing great, right? So you can delay these types of players like your Havertz, right? And your Upamecano's if you're looking at them. But you can't delay a player like Sané, who you know you need. You need him now to do that rebuild. Our rebuild would be complete with Sané and a Sergino Dest, right? Right. That would be our rebuild complete. But then next year, when Muller's gotten older, when Neuer is gotten older, then that's when you start playing Newbell. That's when you buy Havertz, right? So that's where I'm at in terms of this. Also, why do we forget this? Newbell is going to be a Bayern player in a month or two, right? Right. His contract's going to expire. He's going to be wearing a Bayern Munich shirt. Hopefully the number 36 for no reason. I don't know who's the 36. But Newbell is going to be a Bayern player. I didn't remember that, actually. I'm going to be honest. He's going to be a Bayern Munich player. And there's been stories coming out about how, since this is Bayern transfer news, there's been a few stories that he's causing a civil war in both clubs that he's playing for and is going to be playing for. So Bayern and Schalke. I mean, look at how. Come on, that Schubert. I don't know Schubert. The goalkeeper for Schalke, right? He played crap. He was at fault for 2 goals. Schalke don't like Newbell for what he's done. I mean, how is what he's done different from what Goretzka did? Right? Schalke are a very stupid club because they let their players go to the last year of their contracts to save money. That's it, to save money. And then when the players actually feel unappreciated and actually leave on a free, they just do that. Neuer was a bot transfer. We paid about 20 million or something for Neuer. Was it 25? Whatever, something like that, which is a lot of money in 2009. He joined in 2010. Yeah, 2010. I don't know. Neuer came from Schalke too. Yeah, but the thing is with the Goretzka and Newbell thing now is how do you let players get to the last year of their contracts and then expect them to not sign for a different club? Bayern should loan Newbell. I don't think we should. I think Ulreich should just leave and Newbell should become our backup goalkeeper with at least 10 games in the season. I think the team, you know how in Football Manager, if you buy a bunch of new players, they don't gel together, they don't get the green links, or even FIFA. You need players with chemistry, right? Newbell he's going to come in like in FIFA with a Schalke logo, but it will be a green link because he's only German. That's the only way they know him. eventually his badge and his heart will change to Bayern. So you need to keep him for a little bit. We sell Ulreich and loan out Fruchtel. Fruchtel needs to go on loan. Dest is the perfect profile for Bayern, and that's a good idea. That's a very good way of looking at it. The profile of right back that we've been looking at, your Hakimis, your Dest, have been very similar. Very attacking, but with recovery pace. That's it. That's the profile now. Me? No, I've never played. I played one game right back and left back. I played a left back. It was I hated it because I'm right-footed, and every time I never tried to cross. I just tried to do that little cut inside and then cross to the back post with. It's so annoying. I would rather just not ever play fullback again. I like my CDM position, but I was coming back from injury, so it only made sense. Polkau in Champions League if they smash the first 4 games. You know what? The DFB Polkau is not guaranteed, nor is the Champions League. But I think if we... Lewandowski... I really wanted to get that Ballon d'Or. He's one of the only players to top Lewandowski, to be in that category, Messi, Ronaldo, for consistency over the last 5 years. He's already at 40 goals. So he's going to break the Gerd Muller record most likely. Oh my God. If he... and he's top Champions League top scorer still. He needs to win it for himself, man. And I hope Gnabry and Muller and Coman help him. Because... in bigger games where the defense is just going to crowd your striker, you really need your wingers like Gnabry, or not, Muller's not a winger, but your Cams, your Coutinhos. Lag FC. We're lagging FC. Bayern now, it's lagging again. It's lagging again. It's lagging again. Bayern now, YouTube, it's lagging again. Okay, let's stop. We're back. But so like I was saying, right? I would really like what would happen is the Neuers, or not Neuer. Neuer can help to score the goals, right? Your Mullers, your Coutinhos, that's what we need. We need these players to turn up in like the Champions League semifinals and quarterfinals and even the final, because that's where you really, like, if you look into it, strikers don't score that many goals in like big games. Like Mbappe, he scored 1 goal against Man United, I think, or 2 tap-ins, right? Very good tap-ins because he made exceptional runs. But in the second leg where they come at you, you need your wingers and all these players to really do something. And your strikers will always be outcrowded, but your wingers won't. Your wingers will have space. If 3 players are around Lewandowski, which they usually do, then you need your Gnabry with the space he's allowed, which happened against Chelsea. Chelsea used 3 center backs to control Lewandowski. Why did you think they played 3 center backs and 2 CDMs to control Lewandowski and Muller, right? And that's where Gnabry was like, I'm going to step up. Lewandowski went out wide. 1 second later, he holds the ball up. Back to Gnabry. 1 touch, and Gnabry scores a goal. That's what I mean when I say I want my wingers to be, like, take that onus. Robert Lewandowski has not had that since Ian Robben and Ribery left their prime. And I think we need that. I think Lucas Mai deserves some playtime. I think Zirkzee, Lucas Hernandez as well, and Chris Richards, they deserve playtime. I would love to see us even play with Lucas Mai ahead of Boateng, because Boateng was crap, and I don't curse, but he was shit. Like, he was really bad in that game, and I don't know why. Boateng, a lot of you were like, oh, Boateng's been good in 2020. Well, February 2020 is not the same as May 2020. He was crap. Boateng was crap. So we have to realize that you can't cling on to these players. You simply can't do this thing where you just look at these players and be sentimental. Football fans are the most sentimental sports people in the world. Here in America, a lot of you are abroad. People don't care about rivalries as much as you do, because we're not as sentimental as you, right? Americans are not as sentimental when it comes to sports. We don't cling on to one thing. If a player becomes crap, he's crap now. For you Europeans, for some reason, you cling on to what they did 5 years ago. Boateng was brilliant 5, 6, 7 years ago. But now he's not. We should move on. We should give him his little standing ovation in front of the no crowd at the Allianz and sell him in the summer. And bring someone with passion and ambition who's ready to play at the top level for the next 9-10 years. Because then you're delaying yourself. You're letting your sporting heart counter your intelligent brain. Boateng's not good, man. He's not. He played well over the last few months, but now we know he's crap because he's old. He's never gonna improve. He's gonna lose weight and get a little bit faster, and maybe he'll be sharper because of training, but he's not good anymore. Sell him to Inter Miami. You're right, not Inter Milan, Inter Miami. That's where he needs to be. That's because American sports are relatively young. No, they're young, but still, how many? The NFL. There's been like 3 generations of fans. You would think by now they would be sentimental, but you are so, you Europeans are so sentimental. You love just clinging on to things that, like, for example, it's Gerrard slips. If it was American thing, no one would even remember he slipped or the date. You remember it like on this day, Stevie Gerrard slipped. Like, Americans don't remember this crap. By the way, what does everyone think about this? BayernNow just subbed. I know it's just a test. It's not me who subbed. It's just a test to see. Does everyone like that? What if Bayern blocks this video because I use their sound? I don't know. They won't probably. But does everyone like that? I use the 4/4 tunes because I don't know how to make GIFs. But that's what happens when you subscribe. We're currently at 417 subscribers. You know what? I was looking at the analytics yesterday, and a lot of you actually shared the videos. I saw a few from WhatsApp, right? That's what YouTube told me, that external links were being shared to WhatsApp. It was I don't even use that. My parents do. I used to think it was called WhatsApp. It's WhatsApp or something like. I don't know. I don't use it. I don't care. My parents use it. Well, I don't know why, right? To talk to family from different countries as well. But basically, yeah, man, the channel is growing, and I appreciate each and every one of your support. Hope you reach 1K soon. Hopefully. We better reach 1K soon. I'm tired of being at 417 subscribers. 17 likes as well. So, yeah. Yeah, so let's keep sharing the videos, man. It's nice. The channel is growing nicely, right? And I want to keep it going. We want to keep it going. Not me, we want to keep it going. So keep sharing the videos. Keep liking the videos. YouTube likes that. It's like YouTube's like, oh, they like that video. And you know that meme where it's like, I'm going to pretend I didn't see that. Well, YouTube is like, oh, I saw that. And then, yeah, that's the YouTube version of that meme. But then they help the videos get shown out to more people. So, yeah, just the share button is very easy. Gerrard, it's amazing Liverpool can blossom offensively since he left. Have blossomed offensively, okay? They would have killed the flow of attacks. It was all about him. That's true. The same thing is happening with Barcelona. Even though Messi hasn't declined, you can tell. Suarez, over the last few years, has scored less goals. He hasn't scored an away goal in the Champions League for, 3 years in the knockout stages? Suarez is crap. He hasn't scored an away goal in the Champions League knockout stages for 3 years or something like that. I mean, Lewa had the same record. But that's what I mean when I say strikers get overcrowded. So my thing is, I genuinely see a situation where Barcelona, Messi's going to be the only... He's going to be the only thing. And the only thing teams are going to start doing is obviously crowd Messi, but also the defenders will have an easier job defending the other players, because it's not going to be hard defending Coutinho or Suarez when they're both 30 and Messi's the only one producing things at 36 years old. You know what I mean? It's just going to get weirder. You're doing a great job. Much more informed than football bloggers. Oh, speaking of bloggers, I was on this website, and it was a guy, American guy, talking about Sergino Dest's next destination. This guy, first of all, he started off by admitting that Barcelona has Semedo, they have problems at right back. Okay, then he goes to Bayern, and this fool says Kimmich, he'll be competing, Sergino Dest, with Kimmich at right back. I'm like, what how can you not find a simple piece of information like Kimmich doesn't play? It takes one search on Transfer Market or Transfer Market. I kept saying Market, but I never knew how to say it. Transfer Market, it takes one search. Search Kimmich. Even Joshua, he'll pop up somewhere. Look at his games. Look at where he's playing. It just says midfield. So these people don't understand that Kimmich is a midfielder, a right back. My bad. Well, he's a midfielder. They don't understand. They think he's a right back still. It takes one search. So this guy is saying Sergino Dest will be fighting for Kimmich's spot. He didn't even mention that fact that Pavard has been our only right back this season. I don't know why people are this stupid. How do you lot? How do you lot? How do you lot? How do you know my name? How do you all know my name? Like where? Okay, well, I mean, I do say it a lot, and I do speak in third person, but still. For how long are you supporting Bayern? Well, since Robin did that thing to Spain. Dude, how old was I? So I'm 17 now. 6 years ago, I was 11. Yeah, that's when I really started liking Iron Robin. 11 years old, 2014. What he did to Spain was amazing. I'm 17, but like I bought Iron Robin farewell jersey. I don't know when it's coming yet. If this guy's even shipped it, but it should be showing up here. I wanted to buy it, but then these fools bought it. I paid. I was like, oh, I was so excited. 3 days later, it's sold out and deleted from the Bayern store. So I'm just like, whoa, why would you? Pissed me off because now I'm still so angry. No, it was not Statman Dave. But I mean, to be honest, Statman Dave knows more than the average British fan. But there's been a lot of Premier League fans talking about how crap the Bundesliga is at defending. But I'm like, well, why would you want the defenders in the Bundesliga then? The Bundesliga is a highly offensive league. It's very attacking, which is why it scores the most goals in Europe's top five leagues, right? They score the most goals, and also the defensive numbers of players are going to be higher, right? There's going to be a lot more duels across the pitch. The pressing is more intense. If you look at pressing charts for possession regains of teams and also stealing the ball from the opposition, most of the top 6 Bundesliga teams happen to be high up in there, whereas you can see the teams like Burnley's and Crystal Palace's way down, right? And also, Tacho is a German. Klopp is a German. Guess where they all are? In the high pressing category. So, yeah, you can tell the influence of the Bundesliga on Jurgen Klopp. Well, I mean, he also influenced the Bundesliga's way of playing, right? He did infuse. I mean, there was already pressing in football, but Klopp just did gegging pressing, where it was like pressing for 90 minutes straight, which is why they lost a few. Which is why I think Liverpool aren't really suited for league title runs. I mean, they're doing good now, but if you look at how they play this year compared to 2 years ago, where it was all high press all the time, they got tired quite easily, which is why they did so well in the Champions League, because it's much easier to dominate in the Champions League than it is to dominate in the league, because the league is about consistency. And yeah, and Klopp's done it. This jersey should be here in about 15 days, hopefully. Every club in the Bundesliga, okay, attractive football. Exactly, Paderborn. I watched us play Paderborn, and they were saucy. They tried a few things, and I'm like, well, you're bottom of the league. Shouldn't you just park the bus or something and try to just counter us? They actually tried to play a little bit of ball, and when they got the ball, which, I mean, they scored 2 goals as well. Paderborn made us struggle more than Chelsea did, and that's my thing with the Premier League. It's like, yes, it's a good league. The Premier League is highly competitive in terms of, but it's not the most technical league in the world. I can name you 50 Declan Rices in the Bundesliga, right? Sven and Lars Bender don't even play center CDM, but they're probably better CDMs than Declan Rices, right? And they're not as highly regarded. You can look at Dennis Zakaria. He'll probably cost you half the price Declan Rice does, but because Declan Rice is English, he'll cost you way more. So I don't know. How will Bayern line up defensively next season? I think it's going to be Davies at left back. I think Alexander Nubel and Neuer will share time. As much as it sounds like, oh, Neuer is not going to play anymore, he's going to play. He's our captain. He's going to play 90% of the games. Hopefully, Nubel plays a few games. And hopefully, we get Kimmich the armband, or even Alaba the armband. I don't know. But, man, my English is getting worse. Oh, I'm reading too much Twitter. I remember saying you lot. Come on, I watched too much Sidemen. I watched too many British videos, man. Too much ESPN. See, this is what I mean. And when you support a European team, you start saying words like lads. Like, why? Why am I saying lads? Why would I say come on, lads? When would I ever say that in my life? Kimmich, our future captain. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. We should start giving Kimmich the captain's armband. See how he holds it, how he puts it on with his chest or something. Say it with your chest. Like, let's see, man. Let's see. But hopefully we start doing that though, because then we will see what Kimmich's really about. You know how you just always sit and you're just like, I want to just shut up for a second, and you do. Hansi has said Neuer will play. Yeah, that's the thing. Hansi Flick, man. Thank you. Thank goodness we have a Hansi Flick in charge of the team, because I don't know where we would be without Hansi Flick. But Jesus Christ, that's kind of odd, because you always think, why does a manager, why do we play this way, and then an assistant manager comes in, we play so different. The way we play under Hansi Flick is completely different to Niko Kovac, but Hansi Flick was Niko Kovac's number 2. It just shows how influential the first team manager is, because Hansi Flick literally got us playing some different style of flicky flacca, they call it now, right? Hansi Big D Flick, that's what I call him, right? And you look at the way we play, it's like so different. But he was the assistant manager of Niko Kovac, so how have we changed so much with Hansi Flick, but we didn't even look resemblant or reminiscent of what Niko Kovac did? I don't know, man. We are a different team almost with Hansi Flick. We play with a different brand, but Hansi Flick was Niko Kovac's assistant. Obviously very odd for me. But let's open up and finish off on the Sergino Dest thing. How did I say open up and finish up in the same sentence? Whatever. Sergino Dest, we want him. His agent has said he's coming. People buzzing about Sancho to Man United. I don't think very good base to progress. Yeah, I think Sancho fits Liverpool more than he does United. I don't think very good base to progress. No ball playing right center back like Piszczek. No fullback of Hakimi standards. And Wan-Bissaka is actually decent attacking. He's just not a... It's the system. Solskjaer is just not a good coach for him. If Wan-Bissaka was playing under Hansi Flick, we would see more attacking from him, because there would be coaching. Solskjaer's team is called Freestyle FC for a reason. He can't cross. I mean, he has a few assists from crosses. It's not a matter of crossing. It's a matter of the attacking structure of Manchester United, and there is none, which is why you see him just... It's so individualistic. The goals they score, it's either from an individual moment of brilliance or from an opposition mistake. So the structure and attacking from open play of Manchester United is very poor. So I wouldn't go at Wan-Bissaka for attacking, because what about Martial? Why isn't he scoring the same amount of goals as top strikers? Because they just don't have a way of creating chances consistently. It's all counterattack. Why do they do so well in big games? Because they sit back, soak pressure, and then hit on the break. But in a game like Burnley, where you're expected to have the ball, West Ham, where you're expected to have the ball, United struggle because they don't have a plan in possession, and that's what it is. Bruno Fernandes is the only creative outlet, which is why they've won so many games. But it's not even some tactical genii from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that's gotten them playing the way they are, right? Bruno Fernandes is the only reason they're where they're at right now. That's facts. He's the only reason. I've watched Manchester United play West Ham, or not West Ham, Watford, and I was obviously, I think it was like on a Sunday, right? Bayern had played. I was just like, I woke up, right? I think it was before church, yeah. And I was just watching Man United play Watford, and Watford dominated them, played them off the park. And I think that was a 2-0 game, I think. But you saw it, right? United did not have an attacking structure in attack. Like Bayern, we load the lines, Gnabry, Lewandowski, Muller. We have players in between the lines. We have a structure of how we want to attack. We want Kimmich to hit a ball in behind, and then Lewandowski runs to the penalty spot. It's very structured. It's structured attacking. But Manchester United, they just don't have that. They have a Rashford run at the back line and try to make something happen, or they press. I've watched them play Man City. They press for the first 10 minutes of the game, and then they drop off. It's like so odd. And United, with the players and quality of players they have, they should be doing more. As the defensive, it's still the structure though. Defensively, they're conceding the same goals as Mourinho, so there's no difference with Manchester United. So even though they bought and spent all this money on the defense, they're still conceding a similar amount of goals. With the defense and midfield they have now, you would think they'd be top one. They should be competing for the title. Imagine if someone with the philosophy of a Pochettino or someone with pedigree like Julian Nagelsmann took over that Manchester United team. With your Rashfords, even Rashford's not really that smart of a player, but he has the talent to do it. You know, they would be. It's because Bayern have selfless wingers. I mean, Martial is a real baller. I don't know what you're talking about. He's a real player. Matic is good. I don't know. I don't care. But there's just that's why I don't think Wan-Bissaka is poor attacking. I just think Manchester United as a whole is poor attacking. How many goals do they score per 90 for a team with the quality of players they have? I really would like to know that, which is why I'm going to go to who scored to find out how many goals Manchester United average, because it has to be extremely low for a team, and it shouldn't be. I think if United had Hansi Flick under, they score 1.5 goals per game. That is absolutely crap for a team with the players they have. For a team that spent all that money on their defense, they still concede a fair amount of goals. They average 53% possession. I looked at a stat like 3 months ago. It was that if Manchester United had at least 55% possession in the game, they didn't win it. Like, that's how crazy it is. It's like, that means they don't. That's telling me that Solskjaer does not have a plan in possession. The tactical training is not there. And I've seen it, man. I've watched it happen. I've watched United have possession and do nothing with it. So that's why I think Wan-Bissaka is poor defense attacking wise, but defensive, he has 2 assists this season. For a fullback, that's supposed to be poor at attacking. That's not bad at all, and he has the obviously perfect defensively. He puts in a lot of challenges, but that's because he wants to. And he's pocketed Raheem Sterling. I don't think Sterling's gotten out of that, but I think United have a good team, just not a good attacking structure. They are poor. Manchester United is poor. I don't know how we got to this United thing, but you said Wan-Bissaka. Rashford and Martial do well when given freedom to attack, but defensively they don't track. They rarely track. It's hilarious. Well, that's kind of crazy because if you watch the Man City games, Martial covers one of the most ground for their team. That's how Rashford does so well as well. I don't think it's a matter of tracking back. I think it's a matter of defensive structure and attacking structure. The Man United play freestyle. It's like me in a park with friends. They play this freestyle method where the players, it's just, they're given the onus to do everything. It's so boring to see them play, exactly. And if you've watched them play a game where they've had more possession, it's boring. But a game like where they don't get more of the ball and counter-attack, that's it. Even Europa League games, they score goals from mistakes, man, and it's very, very, very inconsistent. You cannot compete for the Europa League with that. You can't compete for the Champions League with that style. And they're a good cup team, actually. They're getting well in cups because they beat Chelsea, but look at Chelsea. You can't, that's like saying Bayern, if Bayern Munich, right? If we only beat the Leverkusens, the Dortmunds, the Leipzigs, the Mönchengladbachs, if we only beat those 5 teams in the top 6 consistently, we beat them. They drew Liverpool, Man United, so they have the quality to do that, but not the quality to win games. They almost won against Liverpool, if not for a late-minute goal from Liverpool. But if we Bayern only beat Leverkusen, Dortmund, Leipzig, Mönchengladbach every season, right? Those 4 teams, if we only beat them, it wouldn't mean anything if we didn't beat the teams that were bottom of the league. That's where your real consistency comes from. But Man United can't. So that's it for the stream, everyone. Thank you all so much for watching. Like I said, leave a like on the video, share the videos. So appreciative of every single one of you. By the way, what day is it? It's still only Tuesday? Damn it. Bayern play in 4 days. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm counting down now. 4 days, we'll be doing the Frankfurt Bayern watch along. So, I mean, why am I telling you that 4 days before it's happening? I should probably tell you that the day before. But also, I have an announcement, right? You know how we've had too many men on this channel, too many dudes, right? We're bringing the first girl on the channel. Congratulations. 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 I forgot her name. It's fine. It's fine. Congratulations. We're bringing the first girl on the channel. different opinions. I'm tired of hearing men talk all day. So thank you all so much for watching. Mias and Mian, peace. I think Rashford is overrated only because he's British. He is overrated. The British media love British players, which is why they hate Paul Pogba, despite the fact that Pogba is one of Manchester United's best players and most consistent players. Annoying. And the only reason they hate him is because he has a different haircut. But I'd rather have a player have a different haircut and perform consistently than a player that's highly overrated but keeps to himself because he doesn't have anything to really be arrogant about. Whatever. I'm done.